Hi, everybody. Oh, I keep saying everybody. Maybe someday somebody will start watching these. It's the 22nd of September 9th, 2020. Oh my gosh. Um, the first day of autumn here in the northern hemisphere. So it must be the first day of spring in the southern hemisphere. So yeah, it's kind of nice transition time. Equal day and equal night. At least the sun came out finally here. I'm not out for my walk because my right knee is bothering me. I have problems with my knee, so I don't know, taking it easy with that knee today. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. I have a brace on it to remind me not that it's bothering me. Especially when I go up and down the stairs. I don't want to fall down the stairs and break my neck or anything else. Um, Confession to make. I have not been tuning into the spirit. I have not been reading my scriptures. Oh, it's life has just gotten a bit crazy. I know part of it is cabin fever. Uh, yeah, working remote, being in this office by myself. It's kind of rough. It's one thing when I'll be doing my own business. I'll be able to go out during the day because I'll be setting my own schedule. But working as an employee, I have to be here. I have to take care of the computer and punch in and punch out. And it can be a real pain. Um, oh, yeah, I'm starting to put my summer clothes away and slowly bringing out my winter stuff. My my fall stuff, I should say. We have a short fall here, it seems, some years. So I haven't been doing my scriptures, but this morning I watched a video. There's a thing called the Watchman, and it's something CUFI.com is an organization of American Christians for Israel or something like that. I can't remember what it actually means, but it's a pretty big organization. I guess it's international, so I shouldn't say American Christian. It's Christians for Israel, I guess. Um, I watched one of their. I've been watching some of their episodes because they're nice. Well, most of them are really pretty nice. And they talk about. This man who is the star of the show goes to Israel. Well, he can't right now, but he likes to take trips to Israel, and there's a few archaeologists that he knows, and I don't know if they're part of the organization. I don't think so. I think they're all Jewish, but I could be wrong. Um, but they're archaeologists in Israel, and it's really interesting. Some of the sites they go to. Today they were the episode I watched today. They were in Beersheba. I always said Beersheba, but I guess it's pronounced Beersheba. So, but that is where Abraham pitched his tent, and I got a little uppity when I was watching it because it was recently that I gone over the book of Genesis with Abraham and his father and Lot and Isaac, Jacob, and everybody, Ishmael, all that stuff. And Abram or Abraham, of course, he was a nomad and he camped at Beersheba. uh, and also Isaac and Jacob also spent time there. I guess it's mentioned over 30 times in the New Testament. The Old Testament. Um, and it had become a rather big city, a nice sized city for the time it was a city, and it's like up on top of a mound, and you can see all around. It's really pretty cool. And then there's a new city of Beersheba, which is in the distance. It's further out from where the ruins are, but they're really nicely preserved, and it's really very interesting. But the thing that I got a little OCD about is they said, well, and this is something that I've heard too, other people do, is, well, Abraham left Ur and he came here because God told him to. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just read all this stuff. And it was Abraham's father who left Ur, and Abraham and Sarah, his wife, and Lot, Abraham's brother's son, and retinue left Ur to travel. So it's like, wait a minute, you missed a couple chapters in there, but it was interesting because they put down that they were talking about what it was like in Ur in Mesopotamia, and at that time it was a city. It was a metropolitan area. I mean, it's not like, what we have now with Chicago, New York, and LA. It was, of course, much, much smaller. But when you had like 10,000 people living in a city at that time, that was a big city. So I'm not sure how big that was, but Ur was a very large city. It was like the southern capital or whatever of Mesopotamia. It was where archaeologists have found the first evidence of actual agriculture, or so they say. And it's really interesting, but they said that, I know in Genesis, Abraham's a very wealthy man, and they said that actually when he left Ur with his father, because they kept forgetting about his father and everybody, but they had been businessmen, they had money, they had they were not poor people, they were wealthy when they left. And then Abraham became like, a nomad. He had he had donkeys, and I don't know if he had horses or not, but donkeys and oxen. I think they had oxen and sheep, and he just kept accumulating more and more wealth that way. I mean, you got to think of livestock as wealth. That's part of wealth. It's not just money. It's, they owned these tents, they had these animals, they had servants, so they were wealthy. And they talked a lot about the different periods of when Abraham was there, and then when Isaac and Jacob had stopped there, and how it must have grown and grown and grown. It started out as not much of anything, but it grew because of the well. And there's still a well there that still has water in it, and there's a spring or something where the water's coming from, because they pulled up showed a bucket of water coming up, and it was really clear water. So that's pretty awesome. But the view from this mound is amazing. I so want to go there. The only problem is that Beersheba is in the southern part of Israel, and it's been bombed a few times. They have bomb shelters and stuff because Hezbollah and whoever like to send bombs that way. It's crazy. It's really sad, but people are living there. They're thriving. They're growing. But it was very interesting to see the aerial photos of the excavations that have been done, and it's really pretty big. And they showed the gate, and was it Solomon, or I can't remember which king it was, but there were fortresses built up by the Israelites, and they have the gates. And I always think of gates, as this big opening with maybe a door, giant doors or something. And when they show the excavation from the aerial view, you can see that there's the opening you come in, and then there's like rooms coming off that right there, where that you can go in. It looks like, I was like, I wonder if those were guards. I wonder if that's where the judges were and stuff, because they always said that the judges were at the gates. That's where they did judge people, and it's really interesting to look at these. I would love to go there and see that for myself. Now, of course, that the ruins don't go back to Abraham's time, because, like I said, he dwelt there with a tent. So it is absolutely fascinating. So I'm not reading my scriptures right now, but I am trying to keep in touch with them. Like, I watch a couple different YouTubes. I try to take one a day in the morning to either concentrates like this does on Israel and the excavations, or another one where it talks more about the New Testament, and then there's a pastor, minister, preacher, whatever that I follow, and so I'm trying to keep in touch with that way. And well, I just thought I'd let you know what I'm doing. I don't get on here as much as I was, but yeah, that's an update. I want to get back to actually reading and documenting what I'm learning from the scriptures because that is important to me. But my day job has just gone mental, and at the end of the day, I can barely even think straight. So, we're over 10 minutes, so I'll say goodbye until the next video. I hope you're having a great day. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please just hit the like button. It helps me. Bye.